Heart of a Champion, Chapter 7. After school the next day, I grabbed my glove, my bat, and my ball, and shuffled into the backyard. I started by working on my batting stroke. I swung over and over, making sure I kept my head down and the bat level. But after 25 swings, I stopped. Mr. Winter said, "If you swing too many times, you swing too hard and end up with bad habits." I plopped down under our cherry tree, feeling defeated. I wanted to be a good fielder, but how could I get better without somebody to hit balls to me? I was about to go back inside when an idea came to me. Tennis players hit the ball against a wall for practice. I couldn't throw a hard ball against the back of the house, but I could throw a rubber ball. It wouldn't be exactly right, but it would be better than nothing. I scrounged around in the garage until I found a rubber ball I'd gotten in my Christmas stocking, but I had never used. My scheme worked pretty well. If I whipped the ball on a fly against the house, it would ricochet back, giving me practice with grounders. If I bounced the ball, it would return as a line drive or a pop-up. I could angle the throws to practice going right and left. After a while, I started aiming at the spot where the house and the ground met. That way, I wouldn't know whether to expect a grounder or a live line drive. I'd have to be ready for anything, like in a real game. Our lawn was a little ragged, and that meant bad hops. At the time, those bad hops made me mad. I'd have fielded 10 or 12 in a row without an error, and then the ball would catch a hole in the lawn and go off my glove, breaking my streak. But that uneven grass taught me to keep my glove down and my eye on the ball. When my mother came home from work, she'd heard the ball pounding against the house and came to the backyard to investigate. "Does that work?" she asked. "Yeah," I said. "It's okay." I followed her eyes as she stared at the back of the house. There were dozens of black smudges where the ball had hit the wall. I expected her to yell to tell me to quit, but she didn't. "At the end of the summer, you'll have to paint that section," was all she said. We ate dinner about a half hour later. Once we finished, she told me to let the dishes soak. "I'll throw you some grounders with a real baseball if you'd like." "You don't have to," I said. "I'd like to," she answered. "Your old mom could use some exercise." She threw me grounders for 10 minutes or so. I'd field them and roll them back to her. "Throw it as hard as you can," I told her, and she got some zip on them. My mother threw me grounders every night during baseball season, and during the next season too. And she would have kept doing it, even when I was in high school if I'd wanted. When your father dies, people want to feel sorry for you. They want you to say, "You've missed out." And maybe I have missed out on some things, but lots of guys have fathers who've never thrown them a ground ball in their lives. They say they're too busy, that they have to work. My mother worked full-time as a clerk for San Mateo County, and she cooked and cleaned and kept house and all that stuff, but she found time for me.